Good morning, guys. Welcome back to our Vision Farm. I just picked a little mini bundle of radishes to put in the roadside stand. We're actually running low on radishes. I just replanted some more seeds, so we'll have some more fresh ones. These are kind of like the end of the row that we planted, but I want to do a garden tour. It's a little bit rainy right now. We're in between showers, so I'm going to try to do a garden tour video now that it's pretty much end of July going on to August, so I can show you how everything is looking, what is growing. And I'm about to show you right now what we harvested for this week on the farm stand. So we're open today. Yesterday was our first open day of the week. So these are some of the flowers that we harvested. We're getting lots of sunflowers now. I made one bouquet just with sunflowers. For vegetables, I'm gonna add this radish right here. We ended up harvesting carrots, just 2 little heads of kohlrabi, some fresh mint, some lettuce, collards, kale. And there's also some thyme in there. Not a whole lot of vegetables, but we have a lot of things coming. I'm excited for things like cucumbers and tomatoes that are going to be ready soon, and just some different things. I'm getting kind of tired of the same old radishes, carrots, and greens, and I'm pretty sure our customers are ready for some other newer vegetables too. But let's start in the flower garden. The flower garden is doing amazing. The raspberries up in the front, I've been picking raspberries daily, and if I skip a day, the birds get to them. So I try to pick as many as I can find in there every single day. I have to really go in there and like look through the bottom because they're definitely like well hidden in there. But those are the raspberry bushes. I'll actually take you through the little entrance. So flower garden is kind of like a flower jungle right now, just different assorted things. The tomato plants that we transplanted in here have little tomatoes on them. They're not ripe yet. Lots of sunflowers, poppies, lots of wildflowers. The wildflower box has a lot of assorted flowers in it. We have something here, looks like a pumpkin or a squash growing. And then we had another one show up in a different box. I don't remember planting them. Maybe it was mixed in compost or something. But I definitely didn't intentionally plant any pumpkins inside of the flower boxes. But our pumpkin plants that are here are taking over. There's some more sunflowers up there. I'll show you our pumpkin plants. We had 2 really big pumpkin plants, actually 3 of them, and these are just from pumpkins that we carved last fall. Let me try to find a good one to show you because they are getting big. I just keep forgetting where the big ones are hidden. Here's one. So these are like the orange jack-o'-lantern pumpkins. I don't know the name because when we went pumpkin picking last fall, we don't really know the name. We bought it from another farm and the seeds just kind of got mixed up while we were gutting the pumpkins. There's one over there. And so these just should be just like orange jack-o'-lantern pumpkins, the ones that you would carve. So it has plenty in there. There's a really big one. I think that's our biggest one. So those are doing awesome. The wildlife and stuff has not messed with it. And then there's still lots and lots of flowers. The plants themselves are looking very healthy. And then the pumpkin plants in the back that we purposely planted, because these up here were volunteered. I'll take you to go see those. Those are doing good too. They're the Jarrahdale pumpkins, the ones that have the orange, really deep orange inside, and then the outside skin is like a gray, smoky gray color. I thought those would be very beautiful for the fall time around Thanksgiving. Not sure when they'll ripen. Hopefully they will ripen for fall time. But they're doing really beautifully, especially being back here exposed to the deer and stuff. Nothing has messed with it yet. I actually tied up some white grocery bags there that you see waving around, because I heard that that might help with the deer and kind of spook them if they get near our plants. And we do have deer that hang around here. A lot has happened recently, actually. We've had our first 2 sets of campers already, and we have our 3rd set of campers arriving today. Not sure what time they're coming, but kind of getting the property ready for their arrival. But the last 2 sets of campers, they got to see deer in the morning while they were enjoying their coffee. And it worked out really good. Our spot that we prepared right behind this garage worked out beautifully for the campers. They had their electric, the septic right there, and then we were able to run a water hose that reached them as well. And we also had we had one paying customer that stayed for 3 nights, and they found us through Hip Camp. And then we also put our property on Harvest Host, which is for mostly boondocking, but they have the option of having the hookup as well. But we had boondockers come, so we parked them in a separate spot towards like where the flower garden was, and that worked out great for them, and they were very happy with their 1-night stay. Here's what our Gerardelle pumpkins are looking like. It's so cute. And there's probably a bunch of them in there. I haven't even checked the back plant yet, but they're getting huge and sprawling out. So the first set of campers that came, they were very satisfied with their stay. They loved just the scenic space that we have here, and seeing the wildlife in the morning and the deer. I told her that that's the same deer that keeps coming back and eyeballing my pumpkin plants, but it has not messed with them. It hasn't ate them. So it's also like walking all through where our honeyberries are planted over there, and surprisingly has not even touched that at all. So like, you can see the deer prints on the ground, but the plants remain untouched. So I don't know if it'll be a different story once we actually have berries on those bushes, but we will see. Here is our main vegetable garden. So I'm going to get in here. The fence is off right now. So we're excited that the camping is working out. So today we're supposed to have another Harvest Host couple come, and they're supposed to be, I think, boondocking. I did ask them if they wanted to use the connections, because we charge $25 a night if you want to use the connections. They didn't reply back yet, and I'm not sure what time they're showing up today. So we will see what happens there. Other than that, we've just been doing the farm stand every Wednesday to Saturday, and harvesting veggies and making all kinds of things for the shop. Here is our watermelon, and we have our first little tiny itty bitty watermelons. So this is the yellow petite watermelon plant. Next to it we have the Moon and Star, which really just now started to grow. It's kind of getting overtaken by the yellow watermelon plant. So this is all 2 watermelon plants. Then I wish I would have left more spacing between this, because we have our cantaloupes over here. This is the stage that they're at. They're still pretty small, but the watermelon is kind of crawling towards this way. I'm trying to also keep the vines away from the electric fence. So next to watermelon is acorn squash. So these we planted a little bit after the watermelon. Once we saw which watermelon plants did not survive transplant, we popped some acorn squash seeds in here, and look how huge they are. They already have little baby squashes, and I'm just trying to keep the plant growing this way because there's more space. Another watermelon, more acorn squash, and more watermelon. So this is going to become like a squash jungle very soon. Like I said, I wish I would have left more spacing between everything, or maybe planted the acorn squash over here in this open spot. But we'll see what happens. We'll try to keep it pruned and contained away from the electric fence. And we have plenty of space here. It's just that we have the cantaloupe. I don't know how big the cantaloupe will get, but it is what it is. If it fills up this nice plot nicely, that would be good because we're not using this spot anyway for anything else. So our veggie garden sort of starts over here. This is the row I just planted radish seeds in, and I'm not sure if I'm seeing germination yet. It's probably too soon, but then we had hanging baskets for a couple of these cucumber plants and they weren't working out good, so we planted them directly in the dirt, and their green color has returned and they're getting bigger and spreading out, so they're definitely happier in here than in the baskets. This is what's left of our radish row, pretty much just the little leftovers that didn't grow good. Zucchini plants. This is where we planted some green beans and some corn, just the peaches and cream corn, and I think the green beans were also from MI Gardener. I regret planting them like this. I'm going to have to hand pollinate the corn for sure, because I forgot that corn needs to be planted pretty closely together for it to pollinate. Then here we have more cucumber plants. These are newer plants. Our peas, remember the sweet peas that we planted out of the grocery store bag? They are going good. They have their first little peas already, so that definitely worked out. So if you plant grocery store dry peas, they will, at least they should, turn into peas. They've kind of flopped over with the wind, but we have 2 rows worth of that. Then some more radishes here that I've been picking through. This was just broccoli micro